Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's tooltip session. My name is Jessie, and I work in customer success here at CrowdMark. Every Tuesday, we highlight a unique feature within CrowdMark that will help you maximize your workflows. And today, we'll be taking a closer look at using randomized questions while creating assigned or remote assessments. So our goal for today's session is to learn how to create and also grade randomized questions within CrowdMark. So let's first go ahead and take a quick look at why CrowdMark actually created this feature to begin with. So with the pandemic, there was a shift to online learning, and one of the largest challenges that many instructors faced during this transition was the ability to ensure academic integrity for all students when writing tests and exams remotely. CrowdMark wanted to help reduce academic integrity concerns without the use of invasive proctoring software. And so question randomization remains one of the most effective ways to reduce the sharing of answers between students. So in terms of creating randomized questions, this is a feature that is currently available on all different question types for the assigned assessment. So that includes multiple choice, text entry response, as well as image and PDF upload. When you set up a randomized question group, CrowdMark will randomly assign a different version of that question to every single student. Let's go ahead and take a look at this quick video here that illustrates how to create randomized question groups within CrowdMark. So as you can see, for each question that is created within CrowdMark's interface, you do have that button available to you to create a randomized question group. You can use this feature for different question types, and you can also very easily duplicate questions as well to save you some time. Once you've gone ahead and set up your questions, you can preview your assessment so you'll be able to see what the student would see from their end. And CrowdMark will go ahead and randomize each question version for you, so you would only be able to see one version of each question, just like a student would. Let's now go ahead and take a look at how to grade randomized questions. So when you are ready to grade, you do select a specific version of the question to grade, and then you'll simply go ahead and select the Next Ungraded button in the bottom right, and that will drop you on the next ungraded question of that same version. When you return back to the grading interface, of course, you'll see an overview of the progress that has been made in terms of each question as well. Let's now switch gears a little bit and take a look at one of our most popular grading tools, which is the comment library. So the comment library separates comments for versions, but you can also use the comments for other versions in the current version as well. So I can see a question has come in, so I'm just going to pause here very quickly to answer it. The question is there an option to shuffle the responses in a multiple choice question within CrowdMark? The answer is yes, but you would have to do that manually. Currently, there is not an option for CrowdMark to shuffle those answers for you, so you can go ahead and simply duplicate the question or create a second version or multiple versions, and then you would have to rearrange the answers or responses yourself. All right, so let's continue taking a look at the comment library here and how the comment library helps you grade multiple versions of a question. As you can see here, we have a mock CSV file of our template that we are going to go ahead and upload into CrowdMark to use for grading. So when you edit a comment in the comment library, you do have the option to edit all instances of comment or just a version of the comment. In terms of importing and pre-populating your comment library, this is something that you'll want to do before you begin your grading. And you will want to create a CSV file with the following data. So you'll want to have the question label, the version of the question, the comment itself, and then you also have the option to attach a point value to that comment. And then you also have a shared column. So that decides whether or not that comment will be shared with the rest of your team. So once you have your CSV ready to go, you can simply go ahead and upload this into your assessment settings. And then your comment library will be pre-populated with all of your different comments that you'd like to use when it comes to grading. And those comments will be further divided by different versions of different questions as well. When you are grading within CrowdMark, you also have the option to filter assessments by versions. So this is very useful in terms of managing all different question types. When you are filtering evaluations or assessments, you can also filter by scores, questions, versions, and even the graders or team members that you are working with. And then lastly, as you can see here, you'll also be able to export assessment grades and data with a CSV file for all questions. As you can see in the image here, all versions of the questions will also be displayed within that file for your record keeping purposes. So that concludes our short tooltip session today on question randomization. I'm going to go ahead and just pause here for a few minutes just to see if anyone has any further questions or concerns. But we also welcome you to contact our support team after today's session as well. Our email is support@cradmark.com. We would love to hear from you. I've also dropped in a short survey in the chat here, so I do welcome you to let us know how we did and what you'd like to see for next time. All right, looks like there's another question, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. For the randomization, it's limited to one at a time, so I can have 5 versions of question 1, but I can't tell CrowdMark to give a student 2 of the 5, right? Yes, that is correct. So CrowdMark will randomly distribute 1 out of the 5 different versions, but you can't currently tell CrowdMark to give a student 2 of those 5 questions. You would have to set them up as separate questions. There is another question here. Can you use this feature for administered assessments? Not currently, no. This is only a feature for virtual or remote assessments within CrowdMark. Since the administered workflow does require you to upload a template ahead of time, we do rely on the instructor or facilitator of the course or the assessment to kind of randomly assign or distribute those assessment questions themselves. An option that you may want to consider for administered assessments, though, is creating multiple versions. So in that case, you would be able to create multiple versions within CrowdMark, but you would have to create those templates ahead of time in your own time, and then you can upload them into CrowdMark once the assessments have been created. Does that answer your question, or are there any follow-up questions or concerns or anything else that you'd like to review today before we end our session? Okay, perfect. Thank you all for joining again. If you have any further questions or concerns, we do welcome you to contact our support team. Our email is support@cradmark.com. I will go ahead and follow up with a recording of today's session, as well as a few helpful resources to help get you started with creating randomized questions and remote assessments within CrowdMark. And we thank you again for joining us today. I hope everyone has a great work week. Bye.